Eva walked into Chase Bank with a rehearsed pitch and $84,000 in annual income. She was a senior account manager, and she wanted $25,000 to launch a consulting practice full-time. She already had 2 clients paying her $3,000 monthly on the side. She had projections showing she could hit $150,000 within 18 months. If she could just make the jump, she needed the loan to cover expenses during the transition and invest in basic infrastructure. The loan officer listened politely, nodded in all the right places, then told her she'd need 18 months of business tax returns, audited financial statements, and collateral worth at least $30,000. She didn't have 18 months of tax returns because the business was new. She didn't have $30,000 in collateral lying around. Application denied. Eva left feeling stupid, naive, like she'd fundamentally misunderstood how the world works. 3 weeks later, that exact same bank sent her a pre-approved auto loan offer in the mail. $38,000 at 6.2 interest. No business plan required, no collateral needed. Just her W-2 showing that $84,000 salary, they'd put her in a car tomorrow. A car that would lose $15,000 in value the moment she drove it off the lot. The business loan would have tripled her income, but the bank said yes to the depreciating car and no to the income. Generating business. I am Leo, and I've spent the last 8 months reverse engineering how banks keep high earners trapped no matter how much they make. If you've ever felt like your salary is a cage you can't escape, or if you suspect the financial advice you get from your bank is actually just marketing in disguise, hit that subscribe button, because what I am about to show you isn't about budgeting better or saving more. It is about how the system is specifically designed to punish ambition and reward predictability, and why breaking free from the bank's narrative is the only way to build real, uncapped wealth. Here is what Eva didn't understand when she walked into that bank. Banks don't evaluate you on your potential. They evaluate you on your predictability when you apply for a business loan. You are asking them to bet on your future, that is risk in their eyes. But when you apply for a car loan, you are showing them your W-2. You have a job, you have a salary, you have a boss who signs your paychecks every 2 weeks. That is a guaranteed payment stream for the next 6 years. And here is the truly sick part. They're not just evaluating whether you can pay them back. They're evaluating whether you'll stay in a position where you need to keep paying them back. A business owner who succeeds becomes financially independent. An employee with a car payment stays financially dependent. One customer eventually stops needing the bank. The other customer needs the bank forever. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, total consumer debt in the United States hit $17.5 trillion in 2024. Almost all of that debt is tied to salary. Your mortgage is calculated based on your income. Your car loan is approved based on your income. Your credit limit is determined by your income. The entire system is architected around one foundational assumption, that your salary is the ceiling of your financial capacity. This assumption isn't accidental. It is engineered. Think about how debt products are marketed to you. You don't see ads saying, borrow money to start a business. You see ads saying, you deserve this car. You've earned this vacation. Treat yourself. Every message is designed to connect your borrowing to your current lifestyle, your current identity, your current income level. The debt you can access is always perfectly calibrated to keep you comfortable at your current income, while ensuring you never have enough left over to escape it. Those pre-approved credit limit increases arrive like clockwork every time you get a promotion. The system makes sure that no matter how much you earn, you are always stretched to the edge of what your income supports. You are always one missed paycheck away from trouble, because that is when you are most valuable to them. Not when you are wealthy, when you are leveraged. Now you might be thinking, okay, Leo, but that is just how lending works. Banks have to make sure people can pay back loans. But here's what completely breaks that logic. That same bank that wants 18 months of tax returns before giving you $25,000 for a business loan will approve you for $75,000 in credit card debt based on a 10-minute application. They'll give you a home equity line of credit for $100,000 that you can spend on literally anything with zero oversight. They'll finance a boat, a jet ski, a destination wedding. The barrier to accessing debt for consumption is almost non-existent. The barrier to accessing capital for wealth generation is deliberately insurmountable. Unless you already have wealth. Eva could have walked out of that bank with $70,000 in consumer debt that same afternoon. No questions asked. No business plan required. But $25,000 to triple her income. Impossible. The system isn't designed to assess risk. It is designed to fund consumption and block wealth creation, because consumption keeps you on the treadmill. Wealth creation lets you step off. Let me show you exactly how this plays out with real numbers. Let's say you make $90,000 a year. Your bank will happily give you a mortgage for around $300,000. They'll finance a car for $35,000. They'll give you credit cards totaling maybe $40,000 in limits. You can access over $370,000 in debt, all structured around your current salary. Now let's say you want to take $50,000 and start a business. That $50,000 could realistically generate an additional $5,000 a month within a year if you know what you are doing. That is $60,000 in annual income. Your $90,000 salary just became $150,000. But the bank won't give you that $50,000. They'll give you $370,000 for a house and a car and credit cards, none of which generate income, all of which lose value. But they won't give you $50,000 for the one thing that could actually change your financial trajectory. And here's the part that should make you absolutely furious. It is not because the business is risky. It is because the business is too likely to succeed. If you generate that $5,000 a month, you just broke through your salary ceiling. You just stopped being an employee who needs to finance their lifestyle. You just became someone building wealth. And wealthy people don't need banks the same way leveraged people do. The psychological programming runs so deep that most people don't even apply for the business loan. They look at their salary and think, this is what I am worth. This is what I can afford. This is my ceiling. Eva almost didn't go to the bank at all because part of her brain was already telling her she didn't deserve the loan, that she wasn't established enough. She'd internalized the ceiling before the bank even told her no. That is the truly genius part of the system. It doesn't just block you from accessing wealth, building capital. It programs you to stop asking. You accept that your salary is your limit. You optimize your life around monthly payments you can afford based on what you currently earn. You start thinking in terms of, can I afford the payment, instead of, will this build wealth? And once you are thinking that way, the bank has won. Because now you are managing your debt load instead of building assets. The bank has successfully redirected all your financial energy into optimizing within the cage instead of breaking out of it. Let me tell you what happened to Eva after the bank said no. She didn't take the car loan. She kept her old Toyota running. She kept working her job and building her consulting practice nights and weekends. It took her 2 years instead of 6 months, but she eventually went full time. She is now making $230,000 a year. Her business has 4 employees. She has equity in something she built, and last month, that same bank that denied her business loan called her to offer wealth management services. They want to help her invest her money now. Now that she doesn't need them, now that she built the wealth without them, they said no when it would have mattered. They're saying yes now that it is irrelevant. Eva told them to go to hell. The entire financial system is structured to keep your income predictable and your wealth limited. Your salary isn't your potential. It is your current market price for your time. But banks want you to think it is your ceiling. They want you to build your entire financial life around that number. They want you to borrow up to the edge of what that number supports. Because as long as you are thinking that way, you are thinking like an employee. You are thinking like someone who needs to finance their life. And people who need to finance their life need banks. People who own assets, who generate cash flow, who build equity, they use banks, but they don't need them. There is a difference, and the entire lending system is designed to make sure you never figure that out. Right now, you probably think of yourself as responsible because you only borrow what you can afford based on your salary. You run the calculations. You make sure the payment fits your budget. But what if being responsible means refusing to let your current income define your future wealth? What if the smart choice is to stop asking, what can I afford? And start asking, what should I own? The banks want you focused on affordability. Can you afford this house? Can you afford this car? Affordability is about staying within your current limits. Ownership is about breaking through them. Every dollar you spend on interest is a dollar that could have bought equity. According to a 2023 analysis by the Federal Reserve, the median American household will pay approximately $420,000 in interest over their lifetime. That is money that went to banks instead of building wealth. So here is what you do. First, stop asking, what can I afford? and start asking, what should I own? Make a list of assets that generate cash flow or appreciate in value. Then compare that to your current debt load. How much are you paying every month for things that lose value? That number is your wealth gap. Second, automate a portion of your income toward asset acquisition before you even see it. Set up automatic transfers 20 toward wealth building. Let your lifestyle adjust around what remains. Third, every time a bank offers you debt, ask yourself, does this make the bank more money? Or does this make me more money? The answer is always obvious once you ask the question. Fourth, refuse to let your current salary define your financial ceiling. You are not worth what your employer pays you. You are worth what you can create, what you can build, what you can own. Your salary is just your current agreement with one buyer of your time. The ceiling only exists as long as you believe it. Eva almost followed the rules. She almost took the car loan because the bank said yes, and it felt good to be approved for something. She almost accepted that her $84,000 salary was her ceiling. She almost stayed an employee forever because that is what the system wanted. But something in her refused. She saw the cage. She saw that the bank was offering her exactly the kind of debt that would keep her trapped. And she chose differently. Not because she was smarter or braver, but because she stopped believing that her salary defined her worth. She stopped asking what she could afford and started asking what she should build. And now she is free. Not because she makes more money, but because she owns what she built. She has equity. She has options. She has wealth that exists independently of any employer or any bank. The ceiling only existed as long as she believed it. You are not an employee trying to afford your life. You are a wealth builder who has been systematically taught to think small. The banks need you to keep thinking small. Your salary is not your ceiling. It is just the current price of your time. Stop selling it cheap. Stop financing your present with your future. Stop letting institutions that profit from your debt convince you that responsible means predictable. You are worth more than your paycheck. You are capable of building more than your budget allows. The ceiling is a lie, and you just saw through it. If this changed something for you, smash that like button and subscribe. I break down the financial traps keeping people broke every week because understanding how the system works against you is the first step to making it work for you. I am not a financial advisor, mortgage expert, or licensed financial professional. The content on this channel represents personal opinions only and is intended for educational and entertainment purposes. Please conduct your own research and seek professional guidance before making any major financial decisions. See you next time.